Hey everyone, there is a controversy that is active in the San Francisco Bay Area and in California regarding affordable housing and how best to build more of it. There is a group of people encapsulated by the ideas of one organization called YIMBY Action in San Francisco that believe that having denser or policies that lead to denser development will automatically, just by the regulation, produce more affordable housing. I got into a debate with YIMBY Action on Twitter, and it turned out that the person behind YIMBY Action actually was Laura Foote, who actually I met, and you can actually see my presentation of her here at Zenny62 on YouTube. She forgot that. But anyway, we were just telling the truth, folks. I had said, I think this will go better if we talk on the phone. And that's how I discovered it was Laura, right? And we had a great conversation, which proves once again that it's better to solve your problems by talking rather than tweeting. Tweeting gets you nowhere other than to create rancor far more often than not. So what Laura said after our pretty long conversation was, would you please produce a write-up or an explanation of why you think tax increment financing should be part of SB 50. And now you would say, Zenny, what the heck is SB 50? It is a proposed legislation by California State Senator Scott Wiener, San Francisco, which basically says, look, if you adopt this, we will have up and down the state of California transit-oriented, denser development, so that what's called floor area ratios, in other words, for every acre, let's say you say, I want to build over here, Zenny, and I say, well, the FAR, the floor area ratio is 2 to 1. In other words, for every one plate, there's 2 stories. But then if I want to upzone it, it goes from 2 to 1, it goes to 4 to 1, right? So that's a very simple example. But just requiring that. Also, if you say, okay, I will do it, then you have to agree that you want to build affordable housing there, all right? But here's the catch. So you verbally make the agreement, you go through the pre-development phase as the housing developer, and you start making your spreadsheet. And in your spreadsheet, you discover this, that, and if you're a seasoned housing developer, you're gonna know this already. Hey, I'm building a larger unit because that's essentially what a denser place is, right? A larger unit, which it costs more to build. So you have to figure out how to balance the average rent so that you can have affordable units, right? And then have more expensive units. But then you go through your calculations, and if you have any sense of what's happening, what's called price elasticity of demand, and you discover, hey, you know what? I can't afford, literally, to have affordable housing in my complex because the rents that I would have to charge in order to make some units affordable, you can't do the project with them. That scenario I just presented you is the raison d'etre for redevelopment in California, which was gotten rid of by California Governor Jerry Brown in 2011. Why did Jerry get rid of it? Because he was under the impression during the campaign that getting rid of redevelopment would save the state $1 billion. The California Finance Association informed Governor Brown that that would not be the case, and it was not. What was left is scores of cities in communities in California without the tool called the affordable housing budget to finance affordable housing. Why? Because of the way tax increment financing works. It's like this. City council gets together in a normal and says, hey, you know what? This area is blighted. So it agrees to make that area a redevelopment area. That means the property tax that's normally collected and then distributed to different taxing agencies, like in Oakland, for example, BART, AC Transit, the Flood Control District, the City of Oakland, the County of Alameda, all goes to the redevelopment agency. The redevelopment agency then will take part of that, 20% housing set aside is what it's called, for affordable housing. And either the Oakland Housing Association or some combination of agencies will package that money into programs that assist developers in building affordable housing. That dynamic produced the largest affordable housing constituency and industrial complex in the entire country. Jerry Brown wrecked that. And then after, and I'm not just being, that's just honest truth, okay? That is an honest, unvarnished truth. That's what happened. And between 2011 and now, what happened? The tech boom, more and more workers coming to California who had not just six-figure, but way up, sometimes mid-six-figure salaries, pricing everybody else out of the market, leading to a gigantic homeless program and real estate people just causing all these predatory evictions, mainly of, in the Oakland case, a lot of black folks and elderly black women in Oakland, the largest group to be evicted as a whole in Oakland. Horrible, preyed upon, okay? All because of this, what I'm talking to you about. So the best way to stop that and restore the affordable housing fund we had is to cause the development of that fund through the reintroduction of tax increment financing, in this case specifically for the use of developing affordable housing, not as a 20% set aside, but in SB 50 case it would say, hey, you know what? You want to build in this transit-oriented zone, it's got to be affordable housing or some percentage, and you've got to use tax increment financing to pay for that. Okay? That way the developer can't say, well, gee, I can't afford it and I don't have a subsidy. Well, and actually you do. It's right here. That's the idea. All right. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later. Oh, but I want to make one thing also clear. Tax increment financing has nothing to do with calling for eminent domain or anything. Anyone who says that doesn't understand the tool of financing, tax increment financing, versus a separate law regarding eminent domain. All tax increment financing is this. You have your, once you establish the area, in this case the zone, you have your base year assessed value. And then for each year, like year 1, year 2, year 3, you take that year and give its assessed value and subtract the base year assessed value from that, which gets you your increment. And that increment times the percentage, which is 1%, gives you your tax revenue for that year, your tax increment revenue for that year, okay? Now, times 20 or 40 years, that is your expected bond revenue stream. You understand? And that forms the basis of the money that you can use to finance a project right now, present value, from that income stream. That's the idea. It's that simple, folks. That's it. It's got nothing to do with anything else. You can take that, it's just simply calling for the allowance of that type of financing. And not only that, that's already in Jim Beal's SB 628 for industrial, not industrial bond financing, but for infrastructure financing. It also, which also allows one to use that to develop affordable housing within Jim Beal's bill. That bill's been on the books since 2015, September 14th of 2015. No one in Oakland has used it. Has anyone in San Francisco used it? I haven't heard anyone. We have to get to a point where we not just use regulation to say build affordable housing. We have to have the means, we have to provide the money to do so. This provides the money to do so. Thank you.